Hey, good morning, guys. Every day, every morning before we start our day, we have to do something. You have to do a vehicle inspection every day, and it's required. It's even in the logbook somewhere on your electronic log, or it's required in your paper log. However you do it, it is expected of you to do a vehicle inspection so you can see if there's anything wrong. And I'm going to do a vehicle inspection on my truck. The first thing I do, though, whenever I do a vehicle inspection is I look in front of my truck. I look at to see if there's any leaks. I look at my lights, make sure that my lights are working. I don't know if you can see it, it's broad daylight, but yeah, light working. The turn signal's working. Headlight is working. Turn signal is working. I look up there, make sure all my clearance lights are working. Anywhere there's a bulb, make sure it's working. So if you have a truck that's got chicken lights on it, you got to make sure all them lights are working. And as I'm walking back, I'm looking for any damage. And I'm making sure that no other truck didn't bump into me that I'm unknown, you know. Maybe I went in and ate and somebody bumped into me, not realizing. I look at the back of my sleeper. Always make sure that there ain't nothing new as far as damage. And if you got something extra like a bike or something, make sure it's still attached. You don't want that falling off, right? Make sure that my caps are on. Somebody's stealing fuel, they're not going to put the caps back on normally. They just get the fuel and go. And I'm looking at my trailer as well. Make sure that the clearance light on top, I can see it. I know it's kind of hard for the camera to see it in the daylight, but make sure the lights are working. Look at my tires. Now, I don't know how you guys do it, but I can actually kick because I got steel toe boots. I'm not actually taking a gauge and looking. Make sure my lights are working, mud flaps are still on, dolly. Most importantly, though, I'm going to get down here. Always do this for sure. And I do a tug test. Make sure that I'm still hooked to my trailer. Make sure somebody didn't do something stupid like trying to pull my fifth wheel. Look at my fuel gauge. If you got a reefer, make sure nobody didn't cipher your fuel down to nothing. You know, I got 3/4 there. Make sure the lights are working. Both lights are working. Turn signal, that's a clearance light. I can feel if the air is in a different, even with my steel toe boot. Make sure my flaps are still on there. Come around here. Make sure the light is on. Make sure these lights are on. Yeah, and the turn signals are on. I'm going to show you how I check my brakes. Brake lights here in a minute. But the clearance lights up there are on. See, it's easier over here because I don't have the sun. But make sure the lights are on. Make sure. You can tell. I can anyway. Make sure my hoses down there aren't going to be dragging the ground. I also want to check. I can see my brakes from over here looking across. I can see that my brake shoes. And I can do the same thing over here. I kind of look across. Make sure I'm not down to any. Yeah, see, I can see it. Just make sure And I'm also looking at my airbags. I want to make sure that they're up. They're not, you know, deflated. Make sure they're inflated. Yeah. Make sure my ICC bumper is still attached. I don't know why it wouldn't. If you have a seal, I don't, because I gotta go pick up a load. Make sure your seal is still intact, because if it's not, now's the time to call the company and everybody, not 100 miles down the road, or wait till you get to a customer. Well, I thought there was a seal on there. I put one on there. Why is it not on there now? Well, somebody must have took it off. But I'm going to be to blame because I didn't report it. I'm looking, the same thing here, my suspension, looking at my airbags, making sure they're still up. Yeah, and I can see them both. I'm looking at my fifth wheel, making sure there ain't really any gap up there. I am attached. Make sure I don't have any, you know, you got your bolts, I do anyway, make sure they're not stripped or one broken or a nut off. And I'm looking at this side of the truck, I'm still looking at my light. I still have a light up there on. We're gonna start our reefer too, because I gotta go pick up a load that requires it. Looking underneath there, same. I'm just looking at all my suspension. I can see my brakes, my brake shoes. Slack adjuster. Make sure my cap is on. My load bars. Make sure the bike is nice and snug. It ain't gonna fall. Make sure the lights are on. I just look at everything, you know. I didn't check my tires back here, did I, guys? Oops. My bad. Yeah, they're up. All the lights are working. Well, we're going to shut the truck off real quick. Watch out, boys. Oh, I was going to show you guys something. Okay, anyway. This is how I check my brake lights. Because I got a logbook here that's got a handle on it. You see? I use my logbook. I hold down my brake, trailer brake. Now we're going to go back here, make sure I got brake lights. Yeah, see, brake lights are on. Let's see if the brake lights back here are on. Make sure they're both working. Oh yeah, see? I turned off the lights, the four ways. The only thing shining is the brake lights. Alright, now let's check underneath the hood. All my lights are working, turn signals are working, brake lights are working. Everything is working. Now we're gonna check underneath the hood real quick. I do this now more than any, because I gotta pay for my own repairs. And if I can catch something now while I'm at a petrol, it's better than a road service car, right? I'm looking at my coolant, make sure it's okay. I got a sensor on there, just like you guys. Gets too low, gets below that sensor, it will shut your truck down. Yep, it protects it. I'm looking at anything. I'm looking, because I wash my engine every time I wash my truck. I'm looking for any fresh oil that might be coming out, seeping somewhere. This is my power steering fluid. Minimum cold, maximum hot. My fuel. I'm looking at my slack adjuster here. And I'm also looking at my brakes. Hey, they look pretty good. And I'm looking at my leaves. I'm making sure they're not broken or cracked. That's what holds up your front end. I'm gonna go over here because I can look better. See how clean that is? I wash it every time. And I can look for anything that's fresh. Looking underneath for any dripping. Looking at my slack adjuster there. Looking at the leaves, making sure they're not cracked. And also looking at the brakes. Yeah, they're okay. Looks pretty good to me. Belt is tight. And that's what I do. I look at it every day, just make sure everything looks good. I also look at my window, make sure there ain't no cracks in it. Looking at the mirror, making sure it's attached. Make sure nothing's loose, right? Everything looks good. Okay, I think we're good to go. Now that's how I do it. I don't know, there's probably other ways, but I do look at my truck every day to make sure it's up to par. Especially the lights. That's what's going to get you in trouble. If you're going to run your lights, during the day, state trooper goes by you, you got a headlight out. He can pull you over, right? Maybe. That's a reason to give you a CSA roadside inspection. I'm not saying the light won't go out once I get on the road. Make sure the registration is in your trailer, because they're going to look at that too, right? I need the registration for your trailer, right? Just another real quick glance. Everything looks good. Now I'm going to start the reefer up though. I do want to start that up, because I'm going 45 miles to my pickup, so I want to make sure I want to make sure that it's going to start right now. A 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I want to set it for 10 below, so that way it gets cold. It may not want it at 10 below, but I want to get it set to that. It's going to take a second for it to get started. I will make sure it starts, right? Don't want to get there and then say, oh, the reefer won't start. I can get it fixed right now. I don't have nothing in it. Diesel engine starting. I haven't had it ran for a week. Over a week. Hear it buzzing? There it goes. Now we're going to set it. We got the reefer set. So, alright guys. Watch out guys. Watch out boys. And that's how I do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I do it. I just look at my lights inside, you know. It's not like a, well, it's an inspection. So I can legally say I did an inspection on my truck. Anyway, thank you for following. We'll see you guys tomorrow with another short clip. Be good. Later.